Order versus degree in differentiation. What is order? The order of a differential equation is equal to the highest order derivative of the dependent variable. So here we have y, which would be a zero order, dy dx, first order, d squared y over dx squared, which is second order, and then after that we have the nth order. So the order of an equation you would have in this sequence, if we say that n is bigger than 2, then this would be the biggest one, and hence the order would be nth order. But let's say we don't have that, then the remaining 3, this one would be the remaining one, and as such the order would be 2. To look at order is to think about how many times the dependent variable has been differentiated. So y is the base, so it would be 0 times differentiated, so it would be 0 order. And then the derivative of y is dy dx, which has been differentiated once, so it would be order 1. And then for this, it has been differentiated twice, so it'd have order 2. What is degree? The degree of a differential equation is the highest power of the highest order derivative. So the degree is basically the power. So this would be 0 power, then you have 1 power, so x to the 1, x to the 2, so second power, x to the 3, third power. Something to note here is that when you're looking at degree, you first should look at the order, and what you want to find is the highest order, and then find if the degree of that. I'll explain that in one of the examples. Example 1. So first we identify d theta over dt. So we can tell now that it is a first order. Next we look at the degree. So if we look at to the 2 here, we would normally assume that it would be second order. However, when we want to find the degree, we need to first look at the highest order. And because this is the highest order, we take the power of this, which is 1. Therefore, the order and the degree would be 1. So in our answer, we would write first order and first degree. Dependent variables. Independent variables are what you change. In the example dy over dx, the x is being changed, so it is the independent variable. Dependent variables are what you measure. In dy dx, the y is the output, and so it would be the dependent variable. So in essence, the dependent variable is at the top and independent variable is at the bottom. So you could think about it as if you set up a function, you're always changing the x value of f of x, so that's your input, and that's what you're changing each time, and then the y value is your output, and that's what you get as your measurement. Example 2. In this question, we can identify that the order is 2 as d squared x over dt squared is the highest order. And then to find the degree, we would look at the power of the highest order, which in this case would be 1. So we could say the degree is 1 and the order is 2. And now for the independent and dependent variables, if you look at the top, the x is at the top, so we could say that's the dependent variable, or what we measure, and the t is at the bottom, so that would be an independent variable, which we change, or the value being changed initially. For some revision in this topic, you could look at 12.1, Introduction to Differential Equations, in New Senior Mathematics NSW Maths Extension 1 book by Fitzpatrick.